him. And so Jaevon, as my fellow 49ers fan here on the panel, still trying to figure out what the 49ers are going to do and what's going on with them. How did you feel about Deebo Samuel going to the Washington Commanders, the team that you picked to make the playoffs, and you were spot on and playing with your guy, Jaden Daniels? He isn't on that Caleb Williams tier for you, but Jaden Daniels has been your guy for a long time.
It's a long time coming. I mean, it's sad to see Deebo go because we drafted him. So, I mean, it hurt close to home with this one. Might throw some on the grill, Kev. For Deebo. But no, I just think his time kind of just ran its course. He didn't play well I think he played well in the playoffs for us over the past couple of seasons, but just this last year it was just all the way bad. I'd say throughout as a whole, we had a bunch of injuries. Guys went down. Guys weren't playing to the best of their abilities. And Deebo is one of those guys, and he can probably attest to that too and say he hasn't been playing his best ball that he knows that he's capable of. But seeing him getting paired, going to the Commanders is a great destination for him. And I know saying that a year ago, 2 years ago, it would be like sending him to Siberia or Antarctica. But now you got a guy in Jaden Daniels who literally changes the franchise overnight, gets to the NFC Championship in his first year. He did everything I thought Caleb Williams would do. And if I would have had Jaden Daniels' name on that graphic that's self-made for us, I would look like a damn hero, a genius, a prophet, some might
say.
Spider-Man. All those heroes. But I think Kevin is a Deebo hater. And he's saying that
just like Kaz.
Yeah, Kaz is also a Deebo hater. I think he can definitely contribute to Adam Peters, the GM there, was there when we drafted Deebo. So you know what he's capable of. I think Deebo is going to be extremely motivated to ball out in his first year as a Commander on a new team. I think we'll see a rejuvenated Deebo. I think he needs to lose a little bit of weight. There are reports that are coming out from Matt Mayoka saying that he was like 20 pounds overweight. I thought it was a little bit visible over this past season, but I think he's going to be motivated going to DC. I think he's going to ball out. And he gets to see Kev's team twice a year. Last time he played him, had 3 touchdowns, 140-something yards. I'm just saying. That was the last time. But how soon they forget. But I'm excited. I'm rooting for Deebo. I have no ill will towards him. I don't know if there's anybody out there on the internet that's a 49er fan that's like, yeah, good riddance. Nah. He was a leader in the locker room. He was obviously, when you see all those, montages of guys leading the team out, it's Deebo and it's Trent Williams. So we're losing a leader in the locker room, so somebody else is going to have to step up. But I do think you're going to see a lot. I think Deebo is going to take a little bit off of Terry McLaurin. I'm not saying he's going to be that other guy that you got to watch out for. I just think the way that Deebo is used, he's a football player. You can put him at punt return, you can put him at kickoff, in the backfield, in the slot. You can use him anywhere. I don't know. He's not a true wide receiver, but he's a guy that can make plays happen. He can score touchdowns. So I think that's what he's going to be for the Commanders. Take a little bit off of Terry McLaurin. And I think Commanders are this is a foreshadowing of what the Commanders are going to do, because I think they're going to be aggressive in free agency and aggressive in the draft. Given the gap that it is between the Commanders and the Eagles, I think there's a gap. I think most fans, I think people with common sense can see that there's a gap between the Commanders and the Eagles. And you saw that in the NFC Championship game. Now, they did get they beat them. They split with them.
No, Toddy, stop telling
me. They split with them over the regular season.
They beat Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett doesn't
Kenny Pickett isn't on. Kenny Pickett's not on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not anymore. That goes to show how much we cared about him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you talk. Let me finish, Kev.
Oh my!
I just think the Commanders realize that there's a talent gap between the Eagles and the Commanders. There's a big gap. And I think what we saw, this was the first trade of the new league year, which is kind of crazy. In free agency, I think Adam Peters is going to be extremely aggressive on trying to acquire talent. And I don't think it's going to be that hard like it once was. Jaden Daniels, their ears are going to perk up now. They're going to be like, playing with who? You see what this guy just did? So I think DC is going to be a place that people are going to want to go to now versus, Schneider, yeah, pass. DC, yeah, I'm good. Now guys are going to want to go play in DC.
Yeah, and I just wanted to follow up on a couple things that Jaevon said before we get your thoughts on this, Kevin, because Matt Barrows, as Jaevon was saying, got confirmation on what Tim Kawakami was saying on his podcast about Deebo being 20 pounds overweight last year. And what Kawakami said, and I quote on his podcast is, I'm not going to say the number, but I asked what was Deebo's high point weight-wise last season, and it meshes with what you said a couple of weeks ago. Got really high, and there may have been reasons for that. Not able to work out because of pneumonia, not able to work out because of injuries, but that's a concern. I think the 49ers had that concern the minute he showed up in Santa Clara in 2019, and it never fully went away. Deebo quoted that report, and he said, 225 to be exact. Can't wait till the season start. Fresh start, new boat. And then Deebo followed that tweet up by saying, 49ers know where I stand with them, and it's nothing but love. Love John and Kyle to death. No bad blood, no way, shape, or form. They know I'm more than appreciative of everything they've done for me as a player and a man. Nothing but love with a red heart. And as a 49ers fan alongside Jaevon, I'll just take a moment to say thank you, Deebo, for everything you did for us.
You carried us in that NFC divisional game when we played against the Packers, and we only scored 2 points.
He sure did.
He don't have a leg.
He reinvented a position so much so to call him a wide back. He truly made an impact. And I will never. My favorite Deebo Samuel memory is when he absolutely went off against the Los Angeles Rams on Monday Night Football. I think that was in
when he ran over Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, I think that was in 2022.
I think so,
and I was there at that game, and it was so awesome because going into that game, the 49ers were like 3-5, and I was like, season's over. Rams are going to cook us. They are going to stomp us out on national television. The 49ers stomped them out in that game, and the whole season turned around at that point. We know how the season ended that year, going on to lose in the NFC Championship game to the Eagles. Congratulations. But then Deebo got his lick back the last time he played the Eagles in Philly as a member of the 49ers. And just even though we didn't get the ultimate prize, Deebo's first season, we made it to the Super Bowl and lost. And then his second to last season with the 49ers, we made it to the Super Bowl and lost. Damn that Patrick Mahomes. But, you know, I will always have fond memories of Deebo. I'm always going to support him wherever he goes. I even acquired Deebo in a Dynasty Fantasy Football League last year, and I will proudly put him in my lineup as a Washington Commander. And I'm just hoping that he's able to resurrect his career a little bit because this past season was rough for him on multiple levels. And Kevin, before we get your thoughts, there's a lot to say on this. And as our recurring football, more specifically NFL guest here on Stats Over Politics, I did want to take some time just to highlight a couple of Kaz's comments. But first, Smooth says, Deebo's been tanking since we got CMC. And here comes Kaz. He has a lot to say about Deebo as he says, as an Eagles fan and the voice of Mike Tomlin, we do not care. Birds by 20 both meetings. He looks like a pregnant auntie. Deebo turned into Deborah. Toddy, quote, I think he needs to lose a little bit of weight. A little? That boy is pregnant. A gap is an understatement. More like a gaping hole. No one wants to go to DC. Have you seen our team? I'd stay out the East because Philly is going to run that for 2 more years expeditiously. The one thing I'll say about that is no team has repeated in the NFC East. Like the Eagles could get in as a wild card and then repeat as Super Bowl champions. But when it comes to winning the division, it has not happened in over 2 decades. Just saying. Facts over politics. And finally, Kaz says, My favorite Deebo memory was when he showed up to a game looking zestier than ever and put up the worst stats I've ever seen. Oh my God, Kaz is on one right now. But Kevin, just what are your thoughts on Deebo Samuel entering your division that you own, being the NFC East?
So every time I posted about it, every Niner fan says, well, what happened last time? Deebo's the Eagle killer. He's played the Eagles 3 times in his career. Can you guys guess how many catches he's had?
Oh,
how
I mean,
many touchdowns, go?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, how many catches? I'm gonna say in 3 games total. It's Kevin's asking this question for a reason, so I'm gonna lowball it. I'm gonna say 3 games total. He had 8 catches.
13 catches.
Ooh, okay. I lowballed it a little too much.
Let's take a guess on yards. Just take a gander.
3 games total. I'm gonna guess.
like
He also runs the ball, so it's yards in total.
Oh, so this is yards in total,
300.
receiving and rushing.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, just that game that he had most recently against Philadelphia, he had himself a good game. So I'm gonna say total yardage, all purpose. I'm gonna go with 151.
244. And
Oh shit, I'm lowballing the shit out of it.
The amazing touchdown that Toddy loves to bring up. How many touchdowns did he have against the Eagles in 3 games, ladies and gentlemen? It's not a hard guess. Just think.
3.
That's it. The Eagle killer is 1 and 2 as in this. Oh shit.
Hey, man, that's a good average. 1 touchdown a game, that's a good average.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works. He had 3. I get it. And I've been telling Toddy when it was news, Toddy sent me no. Multiple suitors for Deebo Samuel and Toddy are getting an 8th round pick. Kevin, is this baseball? Excuse me, I'm sorry. What's the relevant for trash? A 5th? Kevin, he's Deebo Samuel. He has his own position. He could do it all. Shaun, we went through every team in the NFL, and he was a number 2 option on 3 teams.
Yeah, I remember that.
If Deebo Samuel's name was Samuel Deebo and he never played for the Niners, we would never talk about him. He had 1 season of 1,000 yards, and the rest are ass. Straight to the point. They suck. I get it. Kevin, look at his all-purpose yards. Look at his touchdowns. It's not all about receiving. He's a wide receiver. That's his position. You guys paid him off of 1 good season. And now have a $31.5 million cap hit. You guys said, we'd rather lose money than keep your fat ass on this team. Deebo had, if he did not play for the San Francisco 49ers, no one talks about him like this. Nobody. Because he's done nothing in his NFL career. If we just took away the name and I gave you these stats, you'd be like, oh, does he play in Germany now or something? 1 good season out of 8? There's no way he's still in the NFL, right? I'd be like, nope, he's a San Francisco 49er. So, long story short, congratulations. James Bradbury no longer plays for the Eagles, so I would love to see him the next time we play.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because now we get to see it twice a year, and
him versus CJ, that's going to be must see TV. I can't wait.